Oh man. Yo, so shout out to Captain Zeph. You know what I mean? The class he did early on. And I saw the Hammer was teaching early on. Shout out to the Hammer too, man.
We in this building.
You know, Deacon Lava is back. You
Let's
know?
go.
We are in this
Shout out to the
building.
Hammer, man. You know?
Let's go.
For real.
Let's
All praises, man. Hey, so listen, man. There's a lot of things going on in the world. A lot
Woo.
of things going on, man. We living in the last days. I'm telling you all. Okay, we living in the beginning of sorrows. When I watch at the news, I be afraid when I see the things that happening, and I be happy at the same time. I don't know how to explain it, but it be like a joy, happiness. You know what I mean? A bittersweet thing because when the things that I see happening, I like them. Because I know we supposed to prepare ourselves and be ready for the things that gonna come, and then I be asking, are we ready? You know what I mean? But, anyways, the Lord gonna make sure we ready. Okay, brothers and sisters, we are to prepare for what is about to take place on this earth. We keep telling you all what's gonna take place, but some of you all ain't paying attention. Some of you all, you need to be preparing for what's coming. Okay, to you all need to be prepared for what is coming. No, I want is hey, put the thumbnail up on the screen for me. Put the thumbnail up. Okay. So the topic I'm gonna go over today is civil war. Alright, civil war and the son of perdition. Okay, civil war and the son of perdition. Now, man, I had to change the topic up because I'm watching the news and all I just seen is civil unrest and a bunch of stuff going on. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give you all the. I'm going to go into the scriptures and show you all these things that are taking place.
Come on.
Okay? No, hey, first I want you to play some videos. Let me get Obadiah 1-on-1 for me. Read that for me first. Start at Obadiah 1.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom.
Concerning who?
Edom.
Concerning Edom. Edom is who? The so-called white man. Read on.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord. And an ambassador is sent among the heathen.
Yeah.
Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
So somebody's going to rise up and say, let us rise up against her in battle. The her here is America and the land of Israel. You all understand? Okay, that's the main Edom here it's talking about. America and the land of Israel. Okay, our ambassador, somebody gonna rise up and say, let us fight against America and Israel. Keep on reading.
Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
When he says I've made thee small amongst the heathen, the land of Israel, it's small. It's a small little land amongst all them Arabs. Okay, when you look on the map, read on.
Thou art greatly despised.
Thou art what?
Greatly despised.
Thou art greatly despised. So what is that saying? Thou art greatly despised. It means they're gonna be great. People gonna hate America. The nations will hate America, and the nations will hate the Israelis. You all understand? That's Bible prophecy. Okay? They are greatly despised. Okay? Read on.
The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
That's the Caucasians. Read on.
Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
In order for them to say that, it means that they got what? Power. You understand? In order for them to say, who can bring me down to the ground, it means that they have power. No. Go to Isaiah 14 and 3 and read that for me. Isaiah 14 and 3. Get that and read that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
So this is talking about the kingdom. When the Lord give us rest is when we are delivered up out of here and we got the kingdom. Read on.
That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon,
The king of Babylon is talking about America. Read on.
and say, how hath the oppressor ceased?
How have what?
The oppressor ceased.
How have what?
The oppressor ceased.
Read on.
The golden city ceased.
How have the oppressor ceased? How have the golden city ceased? So we picking up this proverb. You saying, how was America destroyed? How was that golden city destroyed? Because America, why does it says golden city? Because America is the richest country on this earth. You understand? And it also referred to him as the what? As the oppressor. The oppressor. Now, let me tell you all something. When you read about the oppressor, you thinking it's just talking about oppressing the so-called Negroes, the slaves here in America. No, when it says the oppressor, America will oppress all nations, including Europe. Including Europe, America will oppress all nations. That's the time we are living in right now. Okay? America is the oppressor. America is no longer Lucifer. You know, they showing their true nature. You understand? For the last 70 years, they was acting like they are about peace and justice and rights for everyone. No. He's turning back into who he really is. The oppressor. Okay? He's not going to just oppress us here in America, but he's going to oppress all nations. Okay? Go to Jeremiah 50 and 23 and read that for me. And Revelation 17 and 16.
Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder?
So what God called Babylon, this Babylon here is also talking about America. Okay? Okay, it says, how have what?
How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder?
How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder? The hammer of the whole earth is who? Is America. Is the oppressor. Y'all understand? America is the country that God used to beat all nations into subjection. The same way how he used Nebuchadnezzar to judge all the nations, to judge Israel and to judge all the nations, is the same way America is the hammer, is the oppressor that's going to be used in these last days to bring judgment on all nations. You all understand? So that's why America will be what? Greatly what? Despised. You all understand? Now, go to Jeremiah 51 and 7.
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. You
Let's go.
You didn't finish that verse.
Okay, now I want the rest of that. Let's read that.
Verse 7. All that found them have devoured them.
Jeremiah 51 and 7.
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
In whose hand?
In the Lord's hand.
So the Lord is the one that's using Babylon. That golden cup, Babylon, America is a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Okay? Everything the Lord does, everything Babylon does is because the Lord wants them to do it. Okay? Everything you see Trump is doing on the earth today is the Lord want them to do it. Read it again.
Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken.
And all the earth is drunken. Okay, read on.
The nations have drunken of her wine.
The nation have drunken of her wine. Now that wine is going into oppression, affliction. Y'all understand? Falsehood, lies, deceit, oppression. Okay, that's what that wine is going into. That wine is going into the same wine, that cup that the Lord told Jeremiah to let all nations drink of it. Okay? That's what you all see going on right now. America got that cup, and America is about to let all nations drink of that cup. I'm telling you all. Remember the scripture said the beginning of sorrows? That's the time we are living in. Okay? The world have changed, and it's not going to get better. That's what I want you all to understand. The world is not going to get better. You all have to prepare. You all have to prepare your mind, your spirit. Okay? You got to stop being caught up in certain sins and so forth. This is the end. We are living in the end. Okay? Keep on reading.
Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand,
Read on.
that made all the earth drunken.
Read on.
The nations have drunken of her wine.
Read on.
Therefore, the nations are mad.
So the nations are angry. Okay? That's Europe, that's China, that's Russia, that's Iran. Okay, that's all them Arab nation. Okay? That's Venezuela, that's all nations on the earth. They have drinking of the wine of that cup of that wine. Okay? And they are mad, they are angry. Why? Because in that cup is affliction, in that cup is oppression. You all understand? Okay? Man, like what? For instance, let me give you all an example of that cup. You all saw Maduro. You all see how Trump went over there and snatched Maduro up. Okay? And then he forcing the Venezuelan government to give him, they just gave them $4 billion worth of oil they shipped to America. You all understand? That is the cup that the nation's drinking out of. America went into a sovereign country, took the leader of that country, and brought the leader back to America and charging that leader on drug charges. You understand? That's the cup. That's the cup. And guess what? Venezuela is not going to be the only one to drink of that cup. You understand? All nations going to drink of that cup. Even if they don't want to drink of that cup, the Lord said, I'm going to make you drink. Okay? There's a scripture that goes into that, but I ain't going to touch on it today. Now check it. Revelation 17 and 6.
Revelation chapter 17 and verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her,
17 and 16, sorry.
verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast.
The 10 horns is who, brothers? Europe, right? EU. Read on.
These shall hate the whore.
So according to the prophecy, who's going to hate America? The whore is America, right? So according to the prophecy, Europe will hate America. You all understand? According to the prophecy, Europe will hate America. Read it again one more time.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire.
According to Bible prophecy, Europe is going to turn against America, and Europe is going to burn the EU. They're going to burn America with fire. What type of fire? Thermonuclear fire. Okay, that's what's going to happen. So when you see what's going on the news, America want to take Greenland, and you see NATO and Europe coming together, and they talking about warring with America and so forth. You'll see them things happening, right? You'll see all the treaties and all the alliance that America have with Europe, everything start to fall apart. Okay? This is prophecy being fulfilled. That's what you all see taking place. Okay? That's what you all see taking place. According to the Lord, it says that what? Read it again.
Yes, sir. Jeremiah 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
They're going to hate America.
And shall make her desolate and naked.
I will destroy this place. Read on.
And shall eat her flesh.
Read on.
And burn her with fire.
Read on.
For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will.
For God hath put it in the European hearts to fulfill his will. So after America let everybody drink of that cup, the nations will be angry, Europe will be angry, Russia, Iran, all nations gonna be angry, and they all will hate America, and they will turn against America and destroy America with thermonuclear destruction. That's why I'm telling you all. The things you all see happening is Bible prophecy. It's Bible prophecy. Now, let me show you all some videos real quick. I sent some videos there. The first one and the second one. I want you all to see. For 70 years, NATO was formed for like 70 years now. Europe and America had an alliance, the North Atlantic Treaty Alliance, where America was protecting Europe, basically. You know what I mean? That alliance is done. It's falling apart. Okay, so play that video for me.
President Trump is acting like an international gangster, threatening to trample over the sovereignty of an ally, threatening the end of NATO altogether, and now threatening to hit our country and 7 European allies with outrageous, damaging tariffs unless he gets his hands on Greenland. This is an incredibly grave moment for the United Kingdom, Europe, and our world. Without provocation or justification, the President of the United States is attacking our economy, our livelihoods, and our national security. Trump has put British businesses and jobs on the front line in his unprovoked aggression. The only people cheering him on are Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. Only a few months ago, Trump hailed the special relationship at Windsor Castle. Now, thanks to his actions, it is nearly in tatters. So how do we stop Trump's damaging trade war? For a year now, Madam Deputy Speaker, the Prime Minister has tried a policy of appeasing Trump, flattering him, fawning over him, refusing to stand up to him, because, he argued, otherwise Trump would hit us with damaging tariffs. Well, the Prime Minister has tested his approach to destruction. It has failed. It is time for the government to change course. We have to finally be clear-eyed about the sort of man Trump is and treat him accordingly. He is a bully. He thinks he can grab whatever he wants using force if necessary. And he is corrupt. The most corrupt president the United States has ever seen. So there are only two ways of getting him to back down: bribing him with a new jet perhaps, or a few billion in his crypto account, or standing up to him like we would with any other bully. Standing together with our European allies to make him back down. That's the choice. Which one, Foreign Secretary?
Okay. So what happened this week? Trump threatened them. The World Economic Forum, Trump threatened Europe with tariffs. After he already set up a trade deal with them already, he threatened them with tariffs if they don't give him Greenland. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, things is getting crazy. I'm telling you, when I see these things, I'm happy because I'm seeing prophecy being fulfilled. But I'm also worried in the sense of if we're ready for what's about to take place. You know what I mean? Because things are about to get crazy on this earth, brothers and sisters. And we have to prepare our mind and spirits. We have to be ready. I'm telling you all, in this time, it's not no time to be bitter and to carry grudges and to be fornicating or none of that stuff, man. Okay, I'm going to show you all some things. Let me see the next video.
President Trump is not used to asking for consent, and the government of the USA does not believe in international law. They only listen to force.
Themselves, yeah.
And in a world of force, Europe can be a force of good. So, after a year of ass-kissing, it's time to change strategy. Because Europe also has power. We are their largest trading partner. The big tech relies on our massive markets. They need military bases in Europe. And Europeans hold a lot of US sovereign debt. The costs that the US would pay if they take Greenland must be higher than the benefits. For that, we should activate the anti-coercion instrument. And in the meantime, accelerate to independence and speak with one voice. Let's create a United States of Europe with a European army to back each other up. when
Pause,
we are-
pause. That's some good stuff. What he said, the United States of Europe? As I'm telling you, you're seeing prophecies being fulfilled. Let's create the United States of Europe and a military to protect, to back it. Woo! I'm telling you all, hey, keep on playing, man.
Independence and speak with one voice. Let's create a United States of Europe with a European army to back each other up when we are under attack. Just like the three musketeers, all for one for all.
Okay, that's some good stuff. All right, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. That didn't have nothing to do with my topic, but that stuff I think you all should know about, right? Right. So check it. I also want to touch on some things as too. I want to touch on what's going on with ICE raids and immigration and so forth, right? I want to touch on these things real quick. Now, I want you to go to Acts 18 and 18 and read that for me. No, Acts 18 and 1 and 2.
Acts
No,
chapter
I'm going to touch on immigration, what you see going on with immigration and so forth. I'm going to touch on that real quick for you all. What you all see going on with ICE, you know, how they're running up in people's house and so forth. I'm going to show you all some things. Acts 18 and 1.
The book of Acts, chapter 18 and verse 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth and found a certain Jew named Aquila,
And found a Jew named Aquila.
born in Pontus,
Read on.
lately come from Italy,
He lately came from Rome. Read on.
with his wife Priscilla,
With his wife. Read on.
because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome.
So what you all see happening today with Trump, the same thing happened in the time of the apostles. You understand? Rome deported, he commanded that all the Israelites, all the Jews to leave Rome. That's mass deportation right there. You all understand? It's the same thing happened back then. It's the same thing happened. You see, the same thing Claudius Caesar did back then. Guess what? It's the same thing you all see happening today. Okay, because them immigration raid, they are not raiding. It's not Europeans they are raiding. It's black and Hispanic communities. You all understand? That's who they are going after. Okay. So what I want you all to see is this. So Aquila and Priscilla, they was deported from Rome, right? Under Claudius Caesar. And let me say this: there was only that mass deportation. It only lasted. It only lasted a while, and then they were allowed to go back. Probably like a couple years later. Probably after Claudius died or so forth. Okay, but I know afterwards the Jews was able to go back to Rome. You understand? But I want you to jump to verse 18.
Verse 18. And Paul, after this, tarried there yet a good while, and then took his leave of the brethren,
Yep, read on.
and sailed thence into Syria, and with him Priscilla and Aquila, having shorn his head in Centrea, for he had a vow.
Okay, so read it again. I'm missing something.
Verse 18. And Paul, after this, tarried there yet a good while, and took his leave of the brethren, and sailed thence into Syria.
And he sailed into Syria, read on.
And with him Priscilla and Aquila.
And with him who?
Priscilla and Aquila.
So what Priscilla and Aquila was doing, when they were deported from Rome, what were they doing? They went forth and was doing what? They were evangelizing with Paul. They was doing the work. They were teaching the word of God. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So even if what you see going on here, mass deportation, ICE running down on a lot of people and so forth, and deporting our people. Listen, brothers and sisters, you all should not be afraid of that. You feel what I'm saying? Because everything that happened is of the Lord. When that happened back then, Priscilla and Aquila, they went what? They went and was teaching the word in other regions and so forth, and that's how they met Paul. Y'all understand? So jump to verse 28.
Verse 28.
No, 26.
Verse 26. And he began to speak boldly in the synagogue, whom when Aquila and Priscilla had heard, they took him unto them, and expounded unto him the way of God more perfectly.
So they expound unto, this was who? The verse above. This was Apollos. So Aquila and Priscilla, they met Apollos, and when they saw him teaching the gospel, okay, he only learned John, but he was teaching Christ. It says that they brought him and they expound to him the teachings of Christ much perfectly. So this brother and his wife, they were deported, but what were they doing?
Preaching.
They were doing the work. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay? Now, check it. I want you to go to Romans 8 and 28. No, Romans 16 and 3 and 4. And then let me get Luke 12 and 7.
Romans chapter 16, verse 3. Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers in Christ Jesus, who have for my life laid down their own necks.
So you all see that? That brother and his wife wasn't regular. For Paul, they laid on, they put their own head on the chopping platter for Paul. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Paul called them what? Read it again.
Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers.
Paul called them what?
My helpers.
So they were Paul helpers. You understand? So this brother and his wife was deported from Rome, but what? The Lord had them set up to do what? To help Paul. You all understand? Okay. The Lord had them, there was a divine mission. They got deported, they went over there, they met Apollos. They taught Apollos Christ much better. You understand? And Apollos was mighty in works and deeds. He wasn't a regular brother. Okay, then Paul turned around and said they are his fellow helpers. They were helping Paul spread the gospel.
Yeah.
You all feel what I'm saying? No, this is what I want you all to understand. That's why I said, don't be scared of no damn ICE. Don't be running scared. And listen, a man going is of the Lord, brothers and sisters. Y'all understand? A man going is of the Lord. All that stuff you see going on, all you going through social media, all them stuff you see, don't let that stuff put fear on you, man. You understand? Whatever happened to you, if something happened to you, is the Lord allow it to happen to you. Y'all understand? If you end up, if they take away your green card or they take away your citizenship and they send you back to your country, guess what? It is what it is. It's of the Lord. You feel what I'm saying? Now, read that for me. Luke.
Luke chapter 12 and verse 7.
I want you all pay attention to this.
But even the very hairs of your head are all numbered.
So you all understand that the hair on our head, every hair on our head is numbered. Read on.
Fear not, therefore.
Don't fear. Don't be living in fear and rolling in fear. Read on.
Ye are of more value than many sparrows.
No, what I want you all to understand, you are a believer in Christ, the Spirit of Christ dwelling in you. You are valuable. You are very valuable. Every one of your hair on your head is number. Meaning nothing could happen to you unless the Lord what? Allow it. You see what I'm saying? Nothing could happen to you unless the Lord allow it. That's what I want you all to understand. Now go to Romans 8 and 28. Romans 8 and 28.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God.
So all things work together for good for them that what?
That love God.
So if you love God, whatever happened, it could be even bad things that happen in your life, it happened for good. Y'all understand? Okay? Like for instance, when Aquila and Priscilla, when they were deported, right? You understand? That was for what? For good, because they end up being what? Paul help us in teaching the gospel. Y'all understand? God had a plan for them. So they got deported and they went and was doing what? Teaching the gospel. You get what I'm saying? Okay? So all things work to good to them that fear God. Read on.
To them who are the called according to his purpose.
According to his purpose. You are called, each last one of us is called according to God's purpose. Meaning God have a purpose for every last one of us. Y'all understand? God have a purpose for every last one of us. What is your purpose? What is God plan for you? None of us don't know where our going is. You know the scripture says a man going is of the Lord. You don't know what the Lord have planned for you in the future, but God have a purpose for every last one of us. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So check it. Now, y'all remember the brother a couple months ago that France deported him. I was speaking about him, right? Okay, brother Nehemiah. His name is real long. His other name, Abuku. You know what I mean? But the French government came down on us and they told him he got to stop teaching the word of God. And if he could stop teaching, he could stay in France. The brother said no, he going, and he didn't stop. You know, so they deported him, and he had a green card and all of that. You know what I mean? He wasn't no illegal. He had his green card. They just didn't want to renew it, and they labeled him an extremist. Okay, they labeled him an extremist, and they did not renew his green card or his papers in France, and they kicked him out of France. You know, right now the brother is in Ghana. He's doing good though. All praises to the Lord. Right now the brother is in Ghana. Y'all understand? And that's one example. Don't think because you got papers, you got green card, and you became a naturalized citizen. Trump is setting up laws to take away all them things. Okay? He's setting up laws. If you speak against America, if you speak against Christianity, he's setting up laws to take away all these things from you. You know what I'm saying? Hope you all understand. Now, what should you do if you are stopped? You know, you all see what's going on out there. You know what? Let me play some videos first. No. Let me play some videos first. I want you to go to let me see. Okay, let me show you all what's going on. Play 3, then play 4. This is what's going on right now. Now, this is in the detention center, right? That's what they give you as a blanket. I don't know what the hell is that, but that's a family in a detention center. They got the kids and them sleeping on the floor. Okay, that's what's going on right now, brothers and sisters. Okay, now let me see the next video. Next video. Turn up the volume.
My God.
So over the last few weeks, I've kept my head down and focused just on supporting our school district, our families, our students, our staff. But as of this week, 4 of our students have been apprehended and taken away by masked and armed ICE agents with no identifying badges. So we decided it was time to speak up and share what's actually going on. The onslaught of ICE activity in our community is inducing trauma and is taking a toll on our children, taking a toll on our families, our staff, our community members. The young boy Liam and his father, who were taken yesterday, have the documentation. I saw it with my own eyes when I visited the home.
Liam and his dad did enter the United States at a port of entry to seek asylum through the
let me see the next video.
One app.
Let me see the next video.
Wow.
No, this is the head of ICE right there. You see how we dress? Turn up the volumes, man.
Oh yeah.
What is that? Did he choose to add the widow belt? Gosh, it reminds me of something. What is it? Oh.
That's how
Except
Nazis used to dress.
the belt is on the
These
other side.
guys. Greg Bavino literally said to himself, I want to look more like this.
Yep.
This is his choice. This is not a border patrol uniform. He's doing this by choice. It's cosplay to them. They're living out a fantasy of the Third Reich. This is him speaking at a press conference today, which is January 20th, in the year of...
Now, what I want you all to understand is these ICE officers, a lot of them is KKK members. A lot of them is Nazis.
Wow.
Okay, a lot of them is the Proud Boys. Like I saw a lot of pictures with dudes that was with the Proud Boys.
Yeah.
They are part of ICE.
Yeah.
Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the head of, that's one of the top dudes that is part of Homeland Security. He literally said, I want to dress like Hitler and them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not their uniform. That's not
their uniform.
Homeland Security uniform. He literally chooses, I want to wear this.
How
You
is that
understand what I'm
helpful?
saying? It's a statement. He's letting you know what he stands for. That's what he's
letting
letting you
us
know. I'm racist and I hate niggas and Hispanics. Okay, he's letting you know. Okay, so let's see the next video.
These other people, they think that they were special. Yep. You think you were special.
The next one, just go in that order, the order that I sent it.
You ain't special.
Every one of these individuals is a person of color who has had this happen to them. In Brooklyn Park, one particular officer that shared her story with me was stopped as she passed ICE going down the roadway. When they boxed...
Next one. That's another icing. That's kids, man.
Yeah, because if they catch the kids, they can catch the parents. The hell is this? The hell is this?
No, let me tell you, that's in, they are snatching kids up and put them in detention centers too with their parents. Now, let me tell you all something. What you all see taking place is not about criminals and deporting criminals and so forth. Now, the amount of money that Congress and the Senate just just approved to finance ICE is over 100 and some, I think it's 100 and some billion. You feel what I'm saying? That's more money than even some countries' GDP. That's more money than the Marines. That's more money than any police department in America. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay? Now check this. Ever since that bill was passed, the big beautiful bill, guess who is benefiting from all of these things? The private prison industry. You all understand? Immigration is becoming what? Have become business. It have become big business. So for every last one of you all that they snatch up, whether you got documents or not, and they put you in one of them facilities, guess what? They getting paid.
Yep,
Y'all understand? They getting paid. It's not about deportation, because when they lock you up, they wanna get you.
Yeah,
they wanna have you there for how long?
To be there for
6 months, a year. Y'all understand? And then they got you in these deplorable conditions.
Yeah, you gotta be there for at least 6
That's what
months.
I'm telling you all. It's not about immigration. It done past that. It's about business.
Yeah.
It's about private
Business,
corporation
private organization.
using immigration to make a lot of money. Even the planes that transport the migrants and so forth.
They make a lot of money.
All these companies is making money. Y'all understand the deportation flight, the transportation that transport immigrants from one state to another when they are detained. It's big money. Y'all understand? It tell you that the stocks on all these private companies went up like crazy. It went up like crazy, brothers and sisters. So remember what I said, what we said, the beginning of sorrows. Now, that sorrow always starts with us first. Let's see the next video. Let's see the next video. Let's see the next one. What's the next one? Is it 7? Or no, 8? Okay, let me see that one. 8? Yeah. We are sleeping here in the bathroom. The American dream.
The American dream.
26 Federal Plaza. Look how they treat us. They have us here. What? You see everybody sleeping on the floor? We like dogs.
And they were working.
Keep playing. No, this is how they treated. That's how they treat. That's how they treat. That's what's going on right now. Tell you, America is going back to how it used to be before the civil rights. America is turning into its true nature, which is the what? Oppressor. Okay? Now, let's see the next video. No volume.
We kept yelling, she's pregnant, she's pregnant, she's pregnant. They put their knees in her, and we kept telling them, she can't breathe, let her up, let her up.
In the chaos, the woman who was handcuffed was suddenly being dragged by one arm as the angry crowd threw snowballs and screamed at the federal agents.
So that woman is pregnant, they're dragging her on the floor. You all feel what I'm saying? You know, no, not I'm Captain Joel sent a video there. No, play that video and let me show. Play that one right there too. I'm going to show you this. And this is where you all play this. And then the next one to play is the one that Captain Joel just sent.
That is bad. Washington, D.C.
I'm not a criminal, my family need me. I'm not a criminal, my family need me. No, you can take that off. Now listen, a lot of our people left their country and they came here to America. Y'all understand?
And
They've
they
been
don't
here 10
decide
years,
to go
20
back.
years, 30 years. They form a life here. This man is screaming, my family need me, I'm not a criminal. I tell you all, it's not about criminal. You understand? It's about business. All these corporations, them hundreds of that $100 and something
million, they gotta get their hands on it.
That they pass in the big beautiful bill. All that money is going into these corporations. Y'all understand? Okay, I'm telling you all. So he says, my family need me, I'm not a criminal. But let me tell you all something. Y'all see what it is these people left their country and they invest so much in America because they will sell that lie.
Yep.
That this place is about justice and rights and opportunity because their country have been destroyed from sanctions or something America did to their country, so people is coming here for a better life. You know, but God says, remember the scripture says, in your affliction, you're going to seek me. A lot of our people have been comfortable here in America, so God is allowing these things to happen. These things hurt when I see stuff like that. But God is allowing it to happen to wake our people up. That's what you all gotta understand. Okay? Now, let me tell you all one thing. None of you all don't run from no freaking officers, man. You understand? That's what they do. You see you try running? They're already in front of you. Why run?
Yeah, you can't run.
Don't give nobody don't let nobody treat you like crap and fling you on the floor and treat you like crap. Like, you know what I mean? Don't give them that opportunity, man. And don't cry neither. Cry for what? If you hear and you ain't got certain document, or you committed a crime or something and they order for you to leave and you didn't leave and they run upon you. And they already there on you, why run?
Yeah,
they will chase you down and they gonna flip you on the ground and they gonna treat you like, like a piece of crap. So why run? Have some dignity. Don't run from nobody, man.
Right.
And don't cry. Cry for what? If you go back to your country, the Lord got you, man.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, go over there and teach the word, man. Come on.
Exactly.
Every hair on your head, the Lord could number it.
Find something to do.
ICE officers, man. Now, you all get pulled over by ICE officers, right? You ask them, why was I pulled over? They're asking you certain things. I choose not to discuss my personal business on my day with you. They ask you what a question. Ask them, am I free to go? Now they say, you are detained. Okay, they detain you, whatever. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay, but don't run and, tell them I need a lawyer. That's it.
Right.
Okay, I plead the fifth, I need a lawyer.
Exactly.
Don't be talking and trying to explain and begging. Please, I got kids. Leave. Don't do that. No. I hate when I see that, man. You losing your dignity. These people don't care.
They don't care for real.
They don't care. They taking 5-year-old kids. They don't care.
5-year-old.
They don't care about your tears.
5-year-old
kids. Don't lose your dignity, man.
What kind of madness is that?
And sisters, it's always good to make preparation.
5-year-old kids trying to go to school.
There's documentation. If you know you got legal problems here in America, get documentations. Meaning there's paperwork you could sign, so if they happen to run up on you, okay, them documents already signed, so the lawyer could take the rest from there.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Somebody got all your documentations and so forth, and you prepare. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, prepare.
Okay,
Right.
You prepare.
But
so
just don't be
number
bury
one,
your
brothers
head
and sisters,
in the
those of you all that, as I said, might have legal problems, you all make sure you all have all them documentations. You all understand? Okay, so if anything happen, a brother or your family member could take that to the lawyer.
Right.
And you know what I mean? But when them people lock you up,
We
just
don't
plead
have
the
no
fifth.
way of finding.
Y'all understand? I need to see my lawyer. That's it.
Exactly.
Okay, don't run, don't cry. Please let me go.
If
They
you
not
get
gonna
locked
let you
up
go. The
and
quota
did
is
not even
3,000 a day.
leave no one
You feel what I'm
in
saying?
charge,
Them
you
tears
are
don't mean
told.
nothing to the white man. You know what I mean? I'm telling you all. So, let me see. What else I had on my mind, yo? Y'all know I ain't start my topic as yet. This is just stuff I have on my mind. You know. So, what other video? Play that video that Captain with the shooting, Captain just sent. Turn up the volume.
Seems like trying to effect an arrest.
Not that one, he said. This just happened today.
And they keep pushing people, you know? Holy shit! What the fuck?
Okay,
They
so
killed my... Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
alright, take it off. We're gonna play that again later on in the lesson. So they killed another citizen. It looked like they killed another citizen. That happened today, right? A white citizen. We're gonna touch on that today. Because the topic I'm going over is civil war, right? Yes. So, let me show you all something so you all understand what I'm saying. If ICE come on you and take away your green card and deport, and hey, it is what it is. Don't shed no tears, man. You know what I mean? The Most High got a plan for you. He got a purpose for you. If that happened to you, the Lord allow it to happen. Y'all understand? Okay, and don't run from no. I just tell you, oh man, I see our people, they flipping them on the ground and all that. Them thing hurt when I see them thing, but guess what? I understand what's happening. Okay? No. What else I wanted to say concerning that? All right. I think I got all of that off of my chest. Oh, another thing. Those of y'all that wasn't born here. You wasn't born in America. Listen, a lot of y'all come here chasing the American dream, and you forgot of the land of your captivity that you was born in. You forget about that place. You understand? Start making preparation, man, just in case. How about that? Okay, those of y'all that come from the islands and from certain places and so forth, Africa and so forth, listen, start making preparation. You understand? Just in case. That's what I could tell you all. You all feel what I'm saying? Don't sit down there and say it's not going to happen to you. Because you all saw what I told you all earlier on that happened to that brother in France. Okay? For teaching the word of God. You all understand? Trump set up new laws where if you speak against the Jewish community, if you speak against America, guess what? You are deemed a terrorist, and they will deport you. They will take away your green card. They will take away your citizenship, and they will deport you. You all understand? So prepare for these things. If you are a soldier, you won't prepare for these things. Okay? No. Okay. Okay, so where I'm at now. Go to Isaiah 30. Go to Isaiah 30. Oh, and Judah better don't feel like it ain't happening to them too. Judah is being pulled over too. Judah is catching hell too. Let me show you what Trump did also. I sent a video there. Go down. They taking down national signs or something like that. You see it? 20. Video 20.
Developing right here and right now tonight on Independence Mall, a piece of Philadelphia history was removed this afternoon by the federal government. Crews dismantled plaques telling the stories of the 9 enslaved people who lived in the president's house and were owned by President George Washington. Last year, President Trump ordered National Park staff to flag any displays that might be seen as disparaging to America's past. Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker says the city is conducting a legal review of this tonight. An attorney who advocated for those plaques in 2010 called the removal, quote, outrageous and blatantly racist.
So they said we ain't want to see nothing about, oh, slaves was working in the White House. We don't want to see nothing disparaging that talk about what we did to you Negroes. Y'all understand? That's what Trump is doing. I'm telling you all. Y'all thinking is, in the beginning, everybody was saying, deport the Mexicans. Okay, you remember in the beginning, everybody was saying that? Get rid of them Venezuelans. They are terrorists and they are gang members and they are violent. It was never about that. No, you got black American citizens being detained by ICE. They throwing bombs in their car. I saw this dude was in his child was in a car, and I think tear gas was thrown in the car. You understand? And the dude baby was inside it. The big dude, the brother baby lost consciousness for a little while. Okay, I'm telling you all, this is going to affect all 12 tribes of Israel. What you see happening is going to affect all 12 tribes of Israel. You know, this ain't no time to be no individualite. This ain't no time to be no, what you call them, them brothers, black only, what you call them again? FBA. Foundational black only.
Right.
This ain't the time to roll like that. This is the time for us to come together as one. But guess who's going to bring together all the tribes as one? Judah. You understand? Judah. Started with the apostles and prophets that's here in America. You all understand? No, I saw a video with the Black Panther Party. They say that they're not gonna help or advocate for what's going on for no Venezuelans or Mexican because they don't stand with us. So we not gonna stand with them. You know, I'm like, this dude is stupid. You know, it's much bigger than it's not an attack on one. That's what these Black Panthers. That's why I say they don't understand what it is about, man. These men, they played out. They don't understand the battle. They don't understand the war. You understand? Okay, from there, let me see what else I had on my mind. Okay, let me hit some scriptures real quick. Go to Isaiah 30:1. Start off 1.
Isaiah
3.
Isaiah chapter
and then jump to 5.
Yes, sir. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1.
So I want you all to see this. Read.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord.
Read on.
That take counsel, but not of me.
We take counsel, but not of God. Read on.
And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
So we cover ourselves with a covering. The covering that we cover ourselves with is politics. Okay? We cover ourselves with Christianity, worshiping white Jesus. We cover ourselves with being a Muslim. We cover ourselves with being Democrat. We cover ourselves with a covering, but not of God's Spirit. What is God's Spirit? God's Spirit is that Holy Spirit. God's Spirit is you learning who you are and keeping the commandments in the faith of Christ. You understand? Read on.
That they may add sin to sin.
Because that's what Christianity teach you. Christianity teach you to add sin to sin. That's what you see goes on in the Christian church. That's why they teach against legalism. That's why they teach that you could do whatever you want. You could be a sinner. You could eat pork, shrimp, and Jesus is love. Okay? They add sin to sin. That's what the Christian church does. Read on.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
Read on.
And have not asked at my mouth.
And we didn't read on.
to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
We strengthen ourselves with the strength of Pharaoh. Read on.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
And trust in the what?
The shadow of Egypt.
So this letting you know it's not just talking about back then. It's talking about today. You understand? Because the shadow of Egypt is a place that's just like Egypt, but it's not Egypt. That is the shadow of Egypt. The shadow of Egypt is America. That's who we trust in. So the same way we went back in the time we went down in Egypt and we trust in Egypt and so forth, is the same thing we're doing today. Okay? Read on.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
So the strength of Pharaoh will be your strength, your shame. You come to America, you come to Egypt, you come to America, you hear about the land of opportunity, you were sold the American dream, and now you're being rounded up and put in concentration camps and detention centers. Now they are kicking down your door saying, we don't want you in our country.
Mm-hmm.
Now they are doing that. So the strength of America have become your shame. Now you are ashamed. You locked up. You in federal detention talking about, this was the American dream. Read on.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
I know you confused. The trust in the shadow of Egypt. The shadow of Egypt is America. Your trust in this system, now you confused. You wondering why these things is happening. Well, I thought America was about justice and rights. Keep on reading.
Verse 5. They were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them.
So this is what our people is realizing today. America cannot profit you. Y'all understand? Read on.
Nor be an help nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach.
A shame and a reproach, meaning they hate you. To be a reproach, meaning you are hated. Okay? You are hated. Okay, from there, that's it on that?
That's the end of verse 5.
Jump to verse 12.
Verse 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise the word, and trust in oppression.
And we trust in what?
Oppression.
A lot of us we as a people, we trust in oppression. We trust the oppressor. Y'all understand? Everybody all over the world, they come to America, the land of opportunity. But America was built on what? Oppression. When you read Isaiah 14 and 4, it called this place the what? The oppressor. Okay? But our people trust in oppression. How do we trust in oppression? We worship a God that does not look like us. You understand? The man that oppresses us and kill us, we follow after his God. And you think that's okay? You follow the people that enslaved you and rape you and oppress you, you follow his God. And you think you trust in oppression. Read on.
And trust in oppression and perverseness.
And perverseness. Read on.
And stay thereon.
And you stay in that perverseness. Now, let me show you all some. This is what this Christian dude said this week, man. I'm like, no, hey, let me see the videos on them there. Let me show you all what this Christian dude said about you black Christians that trust in oppression. Go up a little, let me see. Go down. That's it? Oh, no, look at right there. 13. Play 13 for me. This is for you dumb Christians, man. You black Christians, you brothers and sisters that trust in oppression. What it means to trust in oppression, the people that oppress you, you worship them, you follow them, you think they're going to help you, you think they love you. You trust that the things that they set up is to help you. Play that video for me, man.
About 90 to 95% of the black church in America is objectively, by the standards of Scripture, heretical. It doesn't even constitute.
Pause. Oh man, so this dude said, this dude said, he said, yo, 95% of the church in America, black churches, is heretical. Meaning all of yours is heretics, man.
Yep.
I've been telling you all that all the time. Yo, we've been telling you all that all the time, but keep on playing.
About 90 to 95% of the black church in America is objectively, by the standards of Scripture, heretical. It doesn't even constitute a true church. They're teaching things that are absolutely in direct opposition to the Christian faith. If you listen to the message and you...
Pause. So he said that, is what he said, they are not even considered what? A true church. This is what your oppressor said, that you trust in. He said, you black Christians is not even a real church. We don't consider you all a real Christians or a real church. Keep on playing.
True church. They're teaching things that are absolutely in direct opposition to the Christian faith. If you listen to the message and you believe what they're saying, you will go to hell. I love black people. I want them to know Christ. And currently there are not enough black men in America, Christian men, who know enough theology to be able to be qualified to pastor black churches. The black church in America needs to be split up. It needs to go and find a good God-fearing white church with biblically qualified men so that they can hear the real gospel of Jesus Christ and come to saving.
Don't you just love when someone says that?
You all heard what he said. He said every black church need to be split up and go find a nice white man that could teach you the proper way to worship white Jesus. You understand? I like when white dudes like this.
What
speak.
the hell?
Because that's what Christianity is really about. You understand? So we have trust in oppression. Okay, you come to America, you trust that America is a land of opportunity. No, you trust in oppression. Okay, this system was built on oppression. Okay, now check this. Isaiah 30 and where am I?
Verse 12 we finished.
That was verse 12. Okay, jump to 20.
Verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity.
So though the Lord give us the bread of adversity, right? Adversity. Adversity is what our people is going through right now in these last days. Okay? Brothers' doors being kicked down. Our people being put in detention centers, little babies, little kids. Okay? Read on.
And the water of affliction.
And the water of affliction, because our people is crying. They crying. It's like, don't separate me from my family. Don't separate me from my family.
We've been warning them. We have been warning them for
I'm going to
so
go back
long.
to that. No, let me see them videos there again, man. I want to
We've
see
been
something.
warning these people
I want to show
forever.
you all this other video. A woman was taken out of. A woman was dragged out of court. Which part that is? She was screaming. Hold on. Go up a little. Let me see. Oh, yeah, 11.
And then you don't have
Unto
no
the bread
papers,
of
you don't have no money
adversity
to
and the water
pay
of
for a
affliction.
lawyer.
Play that.
You will definitely be
Her
in
husband
this
was taken
camp
by ICE
suffering.
agents. I want you all to see.
Because most
what
of
the
these
ICE
people,
agents
they
did to
are
her
not
and the kids. Yeah, I want you all
connected.
to see, man. The waters of affliction. The daughter crying. Look at the daughter crying. Look at her crying. The water of affliction. I take it down. If them things don't boil you all up inside, man. If them things don't boil you all up. If when you see things like that, it don't hurt you, man. Something right with you. Because that's your people. Okay? Read it again one more time.
Verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
So when these things happen, and what we got to do, brothers? What we got to do? We got to teach. So though God give them affliction, The waters of affliction, our people crying. Why these things happening? I thought America was about rights and justice. I thought it was about love.
No.
Why is these things happening? We gotta show them why it's happening. When our people is being afflicted, it's our jobs to show them why. It's our jobs to teach. Every time when these things happening, we even gotta go harder, brothers. That's the reason why God is making these things happen. He's making these things happen. Why? Because the scripture says he opened their ears in what? Affliction. So read it again one more time.
And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity,
read on,
and the water of affliction,
and you crying, you being afflicted, read on,
yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
The teachers ain't going to be removed in a corner anymore. Because we're going to see what's going on, and we're going to be angry. And we will teach the word of God and let you all know why these things is happening. Read on.
But thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
And that's what you see taking place on the earth today. You all seeing your teachers. Who's your teachers? These men you see on the street in purple. Saying what?
Not yet. Thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
Saying what?
And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee.
Saying what?
Saying, this is the way.
Saying, this is the way.
Walk ye in it.
Walk ye in it. Gonna be saying all the things you've been following is a lie. This is the way, walk ye in it. Stop following Christianity. Stop being a Muslim.
That's right.
Stop following America. Get rid of that American dream. Read on.
And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way. Walk ye in it. When ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left, ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver.
The scripture says you're going to defile the graven images of your what?
Thy graven images of silver.
That's those crosses, those silver crosses that you got around your neck. And you're going to throw it away. Read on.
And the ornament of thy molten images
and
of
them
gold.
Molten images of gold, them white Jesus piece, you be rocking, you going to throw it away. Read on.
Thou shalt cast them away.
You going to cast them away. Read on.
As a menstruous cloth.
Like a blood clot. Read on.
Yep.
Thou shalt say unto it, get thee hence.
That's how our people going to repent. They're going to say, get thee hence. They're going to say, we ain't following Christianity no more. We ain't following the white man religion.
They have no
but
power.
in order for that to happen, what got to happen first? We got to be what? Afflicted. So you all understand why God is doing what he's doing.
Yeah, most people, if they're not afflicted, they don't know.
So even though when you get angry, you got to go and teach. You understand? That's how you challenge your anger. Go wake your people up. Okay? Now, check it. I want you to go to, let me see. No. Isaiah 19 and 1. Read that for me. Now, I'm going into civil war. I had a lot on my mind, right? What time it is? Okay. Let's go.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. Come on. The burden of Egypt.
The burden of Egypt. This Egypt here is talking about America. Read on.
Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt.
So this is talking about when the Lord returned, when Christ returned. Okay? I'm letting you know it's not talking about in the past. Keep on reading.
And the idols of Egypt.
And the idols of Egypt, read on.
Shall be moved at his presence.
That's Christianity. Christianity will be destroyed when Christ returns. Okay, keep on reading.
And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Read on.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
So the Egyptians against the Egyptians. This is talking about what? civil war. Y'all understand? So before America is destroyed, brothers and sisters, civil war will take place here. You know, civil war will take place here in America before this place is destroyed. Okay, and that's what I'm going to get into today with you all and show you all the things that you all see taking place here in America. It's the beginning of sorrows, and it's going to lead up to civil war. Okay, keep on reading.
And they shall fight everyone against his brother.
They're going to be fighting against each other here in America. Read on.
And everyone against his neighbor.
Read on.
City against city.
City against city. America will be divided into different cities. You know what I mean? Read on.
And kingdom against kingdom.
And it's going to even turn into where now they start fighting against each other. White man against white man. Europe against America. Read on.
And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof.
Now jump to verse 5, I think.
Verse 5. And the waters shall fill.
No. Verse 3. Hold on.
Wait on
that's what I want. Oh, let me see. Jump to 4. Verse 4.
Verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord.
Read that again.
And the Egyptians.
And the Egyptians, read on.
Will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord.
Will the Lord give into the hand of a cruel lord? Meaning the person that going to be ruling during that time will be what? Will be cruel. Y'all think Donald Trump is cruel? Somebody else going to be coming. They're going to be cruel as hell. And even though it says a cruel lord, I want you all to understand it's a whole system. It's not just one man. You know, you got one man as a figurehead. Like today, you see Trump making all these decisions and talking all type of crap. But behind him is a whole system behind him. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what I want you all to understand is what? Is God says the people of Egypt gonna be put into the hands of a what? Read it again.
And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord.
In the hands of a cruel lord. So the leader that gonna be a leader at that time, they're gonna be cruel. You understand me? Worse than Trump. Keep on reading.
And a fierce king
and a fierce king, read on,
shall rule over them.
Shall rule over America. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Now, some of y'all might say that's Trump, and I will beg to differ. There's a lot of things that have not happened as yet. So I wouldn't say that's Trump. What I can say, he is the beginning of that. Y'all understand what I'm saying? He is the stepping stool or the beginning of what's gonna take place and create that civil war in the future. Okay? No, I could say that. Oh, I'm gonna leave it like that. No, I want you to go to. I send you all. Pull up to understand the civil war. You got to understand what's gonna happen during civil war. You got to understand the past. You got to understand the history in the past, right? So I'm going to show you all some things. I want you to pull up the amendments, Constitution, and read the first 4. No, keep going down. The First Amendment. Read that.
First Amendment. Freedom of religion.
So this is what the white man got in his constitution, right? Freedom of religion, read on.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of press.
Freedom of press.
Freedom of assembly.
Freedom of assembly. So my question is, that First Amendment, why was that written that way? Why was it written? The Pilgrims, when they founded America in 1776, and they set up the Constitution, why did they put in there freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of press, and freedom of assembly? Question: Was we enslaved at that time? We were enslaved, right? Did we have freedom of religion? No, we did not. Did we have freedom of speech? No, we did not. Did we have freedom of press or assembly? So why was this written? You got to understand why it was written. Now let me show you all some. I'm going to show you all, as I say, I'm going to touch on these couple amendments first. Hopefully I got time to go into some, you know what I mean? Let me see, let me see the things I put up there. Okay, I sent you all some things. What's that right there? 15? What 15 is about? Yeah, that explains the First Amendment. I sent you all a link. You all did download that? Yeah. Okay. Now read that. That's the Second Amendment. I want the First Amendment. Okay. All right. I will just explain it. The First Amendment, freedom of religion. Can you pull up all the religions on them? Man-made, we always put up a picture with all of them. Can you put that up on the screen real quick for me? Freedom of religion. I'm going to show you what it was really about. You feel me? You see? Yo, where you from, man? Who this dude in front here, man? London. Oh, we got London in the building.
London.
Like, yo, this brother right here, man. Like I see in her face, like, yo, who is this dude? You came here the wrong time, man. You know, a hurricane, a winter storm is on its way. Yo, pull up that image real quick. Okay. Yeah, man. So, so freedom of religion. I'm going to show you all something. Hold on, first and foremost, what religions was the pilgrims when they came over here? Were they Catholics? No. They were Puritans. They call themselves Puritans or Protestant Christians. That's who the pilgrims was that came over here. Y'all understand? Okay, so now, all these man-made religions, where they came from, like, you got John Smith, right? He created what?
John Smith, he created the Baptist Church.
Okay. Then you had Joseph Smith. He created what?
Joseph Smith created the Mormon religion, 1830.
Okay. Seventh-day Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist, that was Ellen G. White.
Okay. Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness, that's Charles T. Russell, 1872.
Okay. And then you got the Pentecostal and the Southern Baptist and all of that stuff. Guess where all them religions was created? Was it in England? It's where? In America. Y'all understand? And all these religions was created by who? By white men. You understand? All these religions came from the Roman Catholic Church, yes, but they were Protestants, meaning they protested against the Roman Catholic Church. When they came over here, they call themselves Puritans. Okay? That's what they call themselves, and they were Christians and they call themselves Puritans, but they was not following the Roman Catholic Church. Was Britain following Roman Catholic? Britain was Roman Catholic. You understand? So what was happening back then, they was being forced to do what? To be Roman Catholic. You feel what I'm saying? So they said, we don't want to go through that again, so let us put in our constitution, we have the right to choose our own religions. You know what I mean? Why? Because they protested against the Roman Catholic Church. Okay, so everything you read in the Constitution, it was a reason and a meaning and something took place back then why it was put in there. Okay? You all understand? So now, the Second Amendment. And the freedom of speech, that goes into during the Civil War and so forth, when they was trying to, Britain had laws set up where they couldn't, speech was prohibited, certain speech and so forth. Okay? Freedom of press, they didn't have right to print certain things to cause civil unrest. So all these things is from what happened during the time when they was trying to rebel against Britain. Okay, when they were starting the American Revolutionary. That's where all these rights and so forth come from. Now, the Second Amendment. Put up back what you all had there on the Second Amendment. Okay. What's the Second Amendment?
Second Amendment, the right of the people to keep and bear arms.
So, the people is talking about, is it talking about the slaves? Were we allowed to bear arms? Okay, were we enslaved at this time? So when they say all man is created equal and all of that stuff, were they talking about us? Okay, they were talking about Europeans themselves. You understand? So when they said all men freedom to bear arms, it's talking about white people. You understand? Why? Why did they set that up? Now, pull up the link I sent you. Why did they set that up? I'm going to show you all why. Read that for me real quick. Yeah, Second Amendment.
The historical background on the Second Amendment. Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state.
So the Second Amendment is about a what? Is about white people being able to form a militia or an army. You all understand? To fight against tyranny.
Yeah.
Didn't we just read in Isaiah 19 that the Lord said, I'm going to put over them a tyrant, a cruel king? Okay, in that time, that's when civil war going to happen again. Okay, but keep on reading.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms.
The right of the people to keep and bear arms. The people. The people here is white people, Europeans. It's not talking about slaves. Keep on reading.
Shall not be infringed. Historical surveys of the Second Amendment often trace its roots, at least in part, through the English Bill of Rights of 1689, which declared that subjects which are Protestants may have arms for their defense suitable to their condition, and as allowed by law. The provision grew out of friction over the English Crown's effort to use loyal militias to control and disarm dissidents and enhance the Crown's standing army, among other things.
So you'll see, so what was being done back then is that the Crown or Britain, they was making it hard for Protestants to own weapons and so forth. You feel what I'm saying? Because and they had their own army there controlling, and militia that they had controlling the population over here. So they didn't want, they made it difficult for Abraham Lincoln and what's the other name? You know, them, what's these the so-called founding fathers, they formed a militia and took this country. You don't understand? That's how they got it. So that's why they put in there, and it was hard for them to get weapons. Britain set up law making it hard for them to have access to weapons. So they said, you know what? We don't want to go through this again. We're going to put in our constitution that every American citizen should bear arms just in case we have to rise up and overthrow our government. Just in case we got a cruel Lord ruling over us. A cruel ruler ruling over us. We could rise up and overthrow them and take them. We could form a militia and try to take them down. You all understand? That's what the Second Amendment is about. The Second Amendment was set up for a civil war. You all understand that? The Second Amendment was set up for civil war. That's why it was set up. Okay, so now, America is the only country on the earth, let me say one of the only country, that allow its citizens to carry arms. That allow its citizens to carry all type of military weapons and so forth. America is the only country that allows that. Okay, I know Mexico and I think Guatemala or some one of these other countries, but it's not as bad as here in America. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So why the Second Amendment was instituted? It was instituted to create civil war. God had them put that in the Constitution. Yo, what is the dude name that wrote that stuff, man? It's not Abraham Lincoln. It's what's his name? Thomas Jefferson. The Lord whispered in his ears, put that down inside you. Because in the future, I'm going to send a cruel Lord over you all, and guess what? You all going to fight and you all will kill each other. James what? Okay, James Max. Okay. All right. So, so let's go. Let me see.
Look like her?
No, I think I'm gonna go too much more into the civil rights. But when you keep on reading the rest of them, let me run through them real quick. I'm not gonna go into all of them. Restricting housing to soldiers in private homes. Why was the Third Amendment set up? Because British soldiers was going into people's house and taking over their house and so forth. You understand? The government was doing that. There's a reason behind each one of these amendments. You understand? Now, I don't know if you all remember that movie. Was it Braveheart? No, not Braveheart.
She doesn't know how to...
Patriot. Yeah, Patriot. You saw the British soldiers went in the house and you know what I mean? So that's what this was. That's an example. You understand? No. The Fourth Amendment to protect against unreasonable search and seizures. Why is this? Because Britain was doing unreasonable search and seizures. You all understand? Yo, it's not we seeing all of this taking place today. Remember what the Lord says. He says, I will put a cruel Lord over you. Okay, so all of these things was put in here because of what took place in the time of Britain. Okay, so no. So no. You all understand a little about the U.S. history. Okay, now let's see. I want you to play this video. Hold on, right? Let me see. Okay, go up a little. Let me see. Go down a little. Civil War. The beginning of the Civil War. Go up. That's all the videos I got here. Okay, let me see. Okay, hold on. Y'all bear with me. Is there a video there that says Civil War? The beginning of Civil War, something like that. Okay. United States will hold on. No, go down. What's that? I play that. Let me see. Yeah. Why you got that all the way up there? Yeah, play that. Let me see. Did I send that today? Oh, okay. Yeah, play. Let me see.
By 1860, the United States was so bitterly divided that 10 southern states refused to put Republican candidate Abraham Lincoln's name on the ballot in the presidential election.
Pause. So you all see, it's showing you all what started the Civil War. America was what? Divided. You understand? Yeah, this is the video I was looking for. No, I'm showing you all, I'm going back into the past because why? Because things that happen, everything repeats itself. History always repeats itself. Okay?
When I was doing my social media,
that year, 3 of the 10, South Carolina, Alabama, and Mississippi, vowed to secede from the Union if he were elected.
They did not want to be in a government run by a northern anti-slavery party.
Lincoln won by a landslide. Before he was inaugurated, Southern governors began forming militias and preparing for battle. They held state conventions to debate.
Pause. So you all see, the Bill of Rights was in 1776, right? Yeah, around that time. You all see what happened. They start forming what? Militia. That's what the Second Amendment is about. You understand? It's about civil war. It's about states forming militia to fight against a tyrannical government. Keep on playing.
vote on secession. On December 20th, 1860, South Carolina was the first to formally withdraw from the Union.
The Deep South states, that is the real cotton states, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, going over to Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Louisiana, they seceded one after another after Lincoln's election.
In February of 1861, those 7 states formed the Confederate States of America. But the rest of the South did not follow immediately. States like Virginia and North Carolina waited several more months to decide whether or not to leave the Union.
One of the things that we always say as historians is everything is inevitable after it happens. But people at the time didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't know a civil war was on the horizon. Many in the Upper South felt, well, let's just see what happens. The election of a president is not reason to break up the Union.
But in April 1861, when Union gunboats attempted to resupply Fort Sumter, a federal fort in the now Confederate territory of Charleston Harbor, they were attacked by Confederate artillery. After the Confederate attack on Fort Sumter, the 4 states of the Upper South, Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina, were forced to take sides and left the Union for the Confederacy. The bloodiest conflict in American history was now fully joined.
Okay, take that down. So, do you all think that's gonna happen again? Do you all think that's gonna happen again? No, let me show you all some things. We just read the scripture, but I'm gonna hit you all with some more scriptures. No, check this, right? No. Okay, California movement. Okay, hold on. Okay, the other one that you was at. Go back. Go back. 34. I want you all to listen to this is the governor of California. Y'all pay attention to this dude right here. I think pay attention to him. Now listen. Yeah.
He was proud to sign the first anti-masking bill in this country. He has tried to stoke a civil war in this country. It is a disgrace what he's doing in
So this is the governor of California. I think he's trying to run against Trump and so forth. But you hear what he said? He said Trump is trying to stroke a civil war. You all understand? Keep playing.
On the first anti-masking bill in this country, he has tried to stoke a civil war in this country. It is a disgrace what he's doing in Minneapolis. It is a disgrace what he's doing all across the United States of America, terrorizing communities. It is a disgrace what his Department of Homeland Security is putting out. I mean, these ads evoking the worst, the 1930s, very intentionally stoking tensions, white supremacy being promoted actively by this administration, the corruption and graft, the likes of which we've never seen in modern history, modern world history.
Yeah, we going back to the 30s, man. Telling you. So everybody, so these is the liberals. he the fox. Trump is a wolf. I don't trust none of them. You understand? But go to 19. Play 19 for me.
Towards a revolution. And really, if they feared the public, they probably wouldn't have done this shit, and I think we might be headed towards a revolution. And really, if they feared the public, they probably wouldn't have done this shit in the first place, man.
Right.
And I'm using the word revolution instead of civil war, because civil war is the country divides in half, and half the people fight half the people. It's horizontal, you know.
So take that down. Take that down. You know, so we are heading. A lot of white people see it too. A lot of people see it. You know what I mean? We are heading towards civil war. Okay? Now, I want you to play video 23. No, 22 first. 22. Y'all pay attention to what's going on in the world, brothers and sisters. Y'all watch and pray. Keep on playing.
You are seeing videos like this and asking me why Minnesota police aren't stepping in to protect residents from ICE. It's because that is exactly what the Trump administration wants Minnesota to do. I'll explain. Trump is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act. That's a rarely used law that lets a president send troops into U.S. cities to put down a rebellion. In order to use that, he has to be able to claim that it is impossible to enforce federal laws or the Constitution in that state. So what's happening on the ground matters. When ICE agents escalate violence, dragging people out of their cars, attacking legal observers, that's not random violence. It's a provocation backed from the top. Stephen Miller has...
You all hear that? That's not just random violence. What you see them ICE agents is doing, snatching people up, flipping them on the floor, all that stuff is provocation because they want to get you upset. They want to get the people angry. You understand? And they want people to protest. They want the protest to turn into violence so they could do what? So they could institute martial law and the Insurrection Act. Okay, keep on playing.
Told the agents they have immunity. J.D. Vance says it's absolute immunity. Well, that's not a real thing, but the DOJ isn't stepping in, which signals permission, even approval. Here's the key part. Courts have ruled that states cannot block federal agents from doing their job. So imagine, Minnesota police stop an ICE operation. Trump argues interference and invokes the Insurrection Act. Soldiers hit the streets before any court can stop it. They go to Minnesota first, then every blue state that resists. Minnesota leaders like Governor Walz and Mayor Frey are making a calculation. Instead of putting cops between residents and ICE, they're asking people to stand with their neighbors peacefully, document what they see, build a legal record without giving Trump a pretext to send in troops. And as more people see what's happening in Minnesota, approval of ICE is falling. The country is watching.
All right, let me see the next video. Hold on. Let me see what other video we got here. Oh, play video 21. Is that 21? No, not that as yet. You're going to play that next. Yeah, that's it. Listen, Minnesota governor, that's him.
My fellow Minnesotans, what's happening in Minnesota right now defies belief. News reports simply don't do justice to the level of chaos and disruption and trauma the federal government is raining down upon our communities. 2,000 to 3,000 armed agents of the federal government have been deployed to Minnesota. Armed, masked, undertrained ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live. They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers. And at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools, they're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them into unmarked vans, kidnapping innocent people with no warning and no due process. Let's be very, very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government. Last week, that campaign claimed the life of Renee Nicole Good. We've all watched the video. We've all seen what happened. And yet, instead of conducting an impartial investigation so we can hold accountable the officer responsible for Renee's death, the Trump administration is devoting the full power of the federal government to finding an excuse to attack the victim and her family. Just yesterday, 6 federal prosecutors, including the longtime career prosecutor leading the charge to investigate and eliminate fraud in our state's programs, quit their jobs rather than go along.
Take it down. So things is getting crazy, man. I'm going to show you all something about civil war in a minute, right? No. Yes, play that for me. Yeah, play 23 for me. Listen.
don't think Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second you want... I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
No, don't give me. You don't. Who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house?
Yo, he just spent $200 million to renovate the White House. You think he leaving? No, I'm telling you all some crazy things is about to take place. You understand? Keep on playing.
That's his folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
No, don't give me. You don't. Who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house? This is serious, guys. This is serious.
So it'll be Newsom Trump in 28.
No. This guy doesn't believe in free, fair elections. He tried to wreck this country. Were you there, January 6th? I think Fox was. At least they were in a lawsuit. They seem to have lost any memory of that. Shareholders didn't. I mean, he tried to light democracy on fire. He dialed for 11, almost 12,000 votes. Now he's doing it in plain sight. And people said, oh, just Trump being Trump. People actually think this guy's serious about having another election? You think he's joking about 2028? You think when he brings foreign leaders to the Oval Office and he goes to the White House store, have you seen this? Anyone? Is it just me? And he shows them the 2028 hats. He's not being serious. Wake up. You will lose your country.
So, hey, before I used to be thinking would be Republicans will rise up against the government. But no, I'm thinking might be the Democrats. No, when you think about what I'm seeing happening, I'm like, whoa. The Democrats might be the one to rise up against and start that civil war. You know, the tyrannical government that's going to be ruling, it got to be Republicans. You know, however it go, no matter how it go, it would be civil war, man. No, check that. Read that for me. I want you all to, so that's the governor of California. Let me show you all what they're doing. Play that.
Donald Trump now seems to be moving toward cutting off federal funding to California simply because the state doesn't align with his political ideology. In response, California officials are reportedly considering a bold countermeasure, stopping the payment of federal taxes altogether.
Pause. Yo, things is getting crazy, brothers and sisters. So Trump said he's gonna stop giving California federal taxes. I mean, he's going to cut off federal funding to California. So California turned around and said, we're going to stop giving the federal government federal taxes. Keep on playing. Same dude.
That's right.
Keep on playing.
No U.S. state has ever attempted to stop sending taxes to Washington, but then again, it's also nearly unheard of for a president to threaten withholding federal funds from an entire state over politics. Let's be clear. California isn't just another state. It's the fourth largest economy on the planet. It pays around $100 billion more in taxes to the federal government than it receives back.
Pause. So they pay $100 billion, it's say, more in taxes than the federal government give them. You understand? So if the federal government give them $300 billion, they give the federal government $400 billion. You understand? In taxes. I'm telling you all, things is heating up, man. Keep playing.
It's the heart of America's agriculture, tech innovation, and entertainment industries. 1 in every 8 Americans is a Californian. So if California actually withheld its taxes, red states, many of which rely heavily on federal funding, could face serious financial shortfalls. And there's more. This financial and political tension is only fueling California's growing secessionist movement. There's already an active ballot initiative gathering signatures that would let Californians vote on whether to leave the United States altogether.
Pause. What caused civil war in the beginning? Secession. You all understand? Abraham Lincoln was trying to keep the Union together, but you had secession that took place. You had a couple states that did secession and they left the Union. Okay? So now California, they got votes and ballots and they talking about a secession, leaving the U.S. You all think the cruel Lord gonna allow that? Keep playing.
Is only fueling California's growing secessionist movement. There's already an active ballot initiative gathering signatures that would let Californians vote on whether to leave the United States altogether. That may sound extreme, but a recent January poll by YouGov found that 61% of Californians believe the state would be better off on its own.
Okay, I'm telling you all, remember, there's a reason why I went into, and I show you all certain videos. I show you all what started the Civil War. What started the Civil War? It was when the states start separating. You understand? When the states secessions, that's what started the Civil War in the beginning. Let me tell you all, it's going to be the same thing again today. History tends to, there will be a division here in America because of a tyrannical government, and a lot of these states will start their secession and try to separate. Okay, no. What that's it? Nah, I don't want that. Let me see what else you got it. What that say? Yeah. Yeah, play that. Yeah, play that. And then 27 and yeah. Play that, man. Play it.
President of the United States just called for Democratic members of Congress to be executed. This is not normal.
Yo, remember what the scripture said. He says, I will put over them a cruel what? A cruel. I wonder if Trump is the last president. I wonder if other things gotta happen first. When I see us start to be afflicted and put to death, then I'll be like, okay. But I would say Trump is the beginning. That system that is set up now is the beginning, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. No Democrats going to come and fix what Trump is doing right now. Although some of you all might say the Democrats going to come and fix stuff. No, they ain't coming and fix nothing. You understand?
Yeah, they can't fix nothing.
God will going to be done. Keep playing.
President of the United States just called for Democratic members of Congress to be executed. This is not normal. We cannot allow this to feel normal. This, as far as I know, has never happened before in the history of the country. Every Democratic member of the Senate and the House, their life is in jeopardy right now, especially those that were specifically targeted by this social media post. Democratic senators and House members who were simply saying that no member of the military should act illegally or in violation of the Constitution. The President of the United States just called for members of Congress to be executed. If you are a person of influence in this country, maybe it's time to pick a fucking side. If you are a Republican in Congress, if you are a Republican governor, maybe it's time to draw a line in the sand and say that under no circumstances should the President of the United States be calling on his political opposition to be hanged. We are in a very dangerous moment right now. The President is engaged in the wholesale incitement, endorsement, and rationalization of political violence in this country. This is a very slippery slope that we are on. This is a moment for people to step up, for Republicans to step up, for business leaders.
Let's take it down. Whose side we choosing, brothers? I don't know. I wasn't clear, man. Did they say Republicans? Or Democrats? We choosing the Lord's side. That's what side we choosing.
We in this building.
Now, next video, man. Next video.
Soft secession is basically the idea of forming an alliance of blue or similarly aligned states to stand up to Donald Trump's policies and to act both offensively and defensively to sort of protect the rights of citizens in those states. You've seen Trump pick off universities, law firms, media companies, one by one.
All right, so take that down. Soft secession, meaning it's different states coming together, and it's soft secession, meaning it's not fully, we just leaving, but we're going to come together and set things up to try to protect ourselves from Trump. No, this is, you know what, I'm going to leave this stuff here now because I ain't got much time left, you know. But, you know what, play that one day too, man. Play that one day too. Yeah.
Newsom is moving forward with redrawing California's congressional maps in response.
So Newsom, that's the governor of California, he's redrawing the congressional map. You understand? I'm going to show you all why. I'm going to show you all these things taking place that you all need to pay attention to. Keep playing.
To what Texas is doing. His office has been sending out a series of tweets since yesterday, many talking about President Trump missing Newsom's set deadline. This morning, the account said, highly anticipated historic press conference with your favorite governor, Gavin Christopher Newsom. Another post sent yesterday said, California will now draw new, more beautiful maps. They will be historic as they will end the Trump presidency. You can see this is sort of like borrowing the kind of language that President Trump himself might use. Before that, others demanded Trump end his effort to have Texas redraw its congressional maps. The all-cap style again.
Okay, so what's happening, right? Texas is redrawing its congressional maps. What does that mean? Like, for instance, say I live in Brooklyn, right? In Brooklyn, you got Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, you got different parts there, and they usually have representatives to that speak on your behalf in the House and in Senate and so forth. Okay, so what Texas is doing, you know, Trump is gonna, the Republicans will lose the House and the Senate during the midterms, so they are creating new, how to say, they are drawing new lines and creating new senators and new districts and so forth. You feel what I'm saying? They are creating new districts and say for instance, it's black people here in this district, and this district going to vote for a black person. They're going to set it up where they make that whole district, they're rezoning it. You understand? And why is that? It's to keep the Democrats and them from becoming majority in the Senate and the House. You understand? So Newsom, the Texas is doing that, so Newsom is doing the same thing in California to combat what Texas governor is doing. You feel what I'm saying? I'm telling you all, the civil war is war. Things is going on. You all better pay attention, man. Mm-hmm. Okay? No. I ain't gonna show no more videos, man. I show too much videos. I ain't gonna show no more videos. Okay. Now, let me get Luke.
Look at my hand.
No, hold on. Let me get Daniel 4.
You only need a little. And you just
Daniel 2 and 40. And Luke 11 and 17. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Daniel chapter 2 verse 40. Let's go. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron.
So the fourth kingdom is talking about who? It's talking about Rome, Europe, and Europe and America is extension of Rome. It's going to be what?
Shall be strong as iron.
It's strong militarily. Read on.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things.
Read on.
And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay,
read on,
and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided.
The kingdom shall be what?
Divided.
That's what you all see taking place right now. The kingdom is divided. America is divided. Read on.
But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
But they got that military strength, that same strength that Rome had. Read on.
For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
The iron mixed with miry clay. Read on.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay.
Read on.
So the kingdom shall be partly strong.
Is militarily they are strong. Read on.
And partly broken.
And they are also why are they broken? Because they are divided. You get what I'm saying? That's it on that? All right. Next scripture.
Luke chapter 11. You want 17?
Yeah.
Luke chapter 11 and verse 17.
Let's go.
But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them,
read on.
Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
So you all understand that? Like, when we read this, a lot of times we use it for when we were divided in Jerusalem. You feel what I'm saying? Every kingdom divided amongst itself. But it's also talking about in the last days. You understand? This kingdom that going to be set up in the last days. They're letting you know before its destruction what's going to happen. Read it again.
But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Read on.
And a house divided against a house falleth.
And a house divided against a house going forth. Read on.
If Satan also,
if Satan
also be divided against himself.
Read on.
How shall his kingdom stand?
So it's also going into which kingdom? Satan kingdom. Satan kingdom is which kingdom? Europe and America. So the Lord is letting us know when Satan kingdom is Satan kingdom divided? You got America and Europe is divided. That alliance is falling apart. You got here in America, you got the citizens here is divided. You feel what I'm saying? Satan is divided amongst himself. His kingdom is divided. So that's a sign that what? That's a sign that they are about to fall. You all understand? Read it again one more time.
If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand?
How can his kingdom stand? No. So Satan is divided amongst himself right now. Now go back to Isaiah 19 and 1.
Isaiah chapter 19 verse 1.
And then let me get Isaiah 14 and 3 and 6.
The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt.
And shall come into Egypt, shall come into America. America is spiritually called Egypt. Read on.
And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Read on.
And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Read on.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
That's what you all see taking place right now in the news and all the things you all see taking place. Is the Lord is behind all of that. He says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Meaning white people will be fighting white people. Okay, read on.
And they shall fight everyone against his brother.
Read on.
And everyone against his neighbor. City against city.
City against city. Same thing in the past where you had North Carolina, you had Atlanta, Virginia, Florida, and all of them fought against the Union, fought against the North. Gonna be the same thing again. City against city. Read on.
And kingdom against kingdom.
Read on.
And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof.
Jump to verse 4.
Verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And a fierce king shall rule over them.
So that cruel Lord and that fierce king is talking about that leader and that government that going to be set up at that time. Now, as I said, Trump is a beginning of that. You understand? I'm not going to say Trump is that fierce king. I ain't going to say Trump is that. He is a fierce king. He is a cruel lord. But I ain't thinking he is the one. The one. You feel what I'm saying? But what I could say, he's the beginning. Remember the scripture says, when you see these things happening, it's the beginning of what? Sorrows. Okay? We are living in the beginning. No. Isaiah 14.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow,
read on,
and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
And from the hard bondage that we was made to serve. The hard bondage we've been going through here in America. Read on.
That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
The king of Babylon is that cruel lord. The king of Babylon is that fierce king that we read in Isaiah. You understand? The king of Babylon is America. You understand? Read on.
And say, how hath the oppressor ceased?
So America is the oppressor. Okay, you all think America have done evil and bad things? No. You all wait and see what America going to do to these nations. You all wait and see what America going to do to our people. You all think things is bad? You all think Trump is bad? Things is about to get worse. I want you all to understand that. This is just the beginning. You heard what Trump said? Trump said we got weapons that nobody know about. You know what I mean? He said China and Russia got to go back to the drawing board. Because none of their damn weapons work when we went to Venezuela. We shut everything down. Y'all understand? He is about to bring some heavy oppression on this earth. Okay, keep on reading.
That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased?
How has the oppressor ceased?
The golden city ceased.
The golden city ceased. What city is the golden city? America. You understand? How is it destroyed? You understand? Read on.
The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked.
So they are also called the wicked. Read on.
And the scepter of the rulers.
And that's it. The rulers and them going to be destroyed. Read on.
He who smote the people in wrath.
So America is going to smote the people in wrath. You see what he's doing? It's going to get worse. He's turning into the oppressor. He's going to smite the people with wrath. What he do to Venezuela going to be like nothing. You understand? When it says the people, it's talking about all nations on the earth. The nations and them will be angry. Why would they be angry? Because of this right here, what we're reading about. Because of this, what we're reading about. America is the oppressor. But you all think it's just about immigration? They locking up our people and putting them in detention centers? No. It's about to get worse and worse. That's why you brothers and sisters have to prepare for what's coming. You understand? Build your spirit up. None of y'all should be making money and talking about the money you make right now should be preparing for what's coming. Y'all understand? Preparing for when civil war coming. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You know, preparing, gathering together and prepare before them that day come. Let's go. Okay? I always tell brothers, me and my brothers do not expect, we don't expect to die of old age on a rocking chair. You know what I mean? That's not, no. You understand? Okay? Because as we teach this word, guess what? They're gonna come after us, man. And they will kill some of us. Y'all understand? But anyways, where I'm at, let me go. Let's go.
Read in verse 60.
Read on.
He who smote the people in wrath.
In wrath America is going to smite the people. Read on.
With a continual stroke.
And it's going to be continual. You're going to see what bad things keep happening and happening. Read on.
He that rule the nations in anger.
And the nations will be ruled in anger. You all see what Trump said at the World Economic Forum. He said, listen, man, we tell you all we want Greenland. He said, that's all we ask you all for. But you don't want to give us Greenland. I'm listening. I said, this dude got a demon on him, man. You know, I'm listening to that dude. I said, this dude is a demon. I'm telling you. Even Europe going to be smitten too. All nations going to be smitten with wrath. I'm telling you all, it's the beginning of sorrows. Keep on reading.
He that ruled the nations in anger.
In anger. Read on.
Is persecuted.
So he going to be persecuted. Now, civil war. Jump to verse 20. I'm going to show you all what's going to take place here in America. Read on.
Verse 20. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial.
Read on.
Because thou hast destroyed thy land.
Because thou hast destroyed where?
Thy land.
This land going to be destroyed, America. You understand? 2 wars taking place here. Because thou hast destroyed what?
Thy land.
Thy land, read on.
And slain thy people.
And they're going to kill their own people here. What is this going into? Civil war. They will kill their own people. The same way how they killed their own people during the Civil War of what that was 18 what? Nobody know U.S. history? Hey, that was 18 something, 1865, 64. Y'all understand? Read it again one more time.
Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial.
Because ain't gonna be nobody that, because guess what? It says you ain't gonna be joined together in burial. Read on.
Because thou hast destroyed thy land.
We are also following breaking.
Because they have destroyed the land, their land, which is how they destroy the land. There will be war, civil war taking place here. Read on.
And slain thy people.
And you gonna kill your own people here. That goes back to the Lord gonna set over them a cruel Lord, and Egyptians gonna fight over Egyptians. Y'all understand? We saw it early on today. You know, we saw it early on today. Captain Joel has sent that video. You all saw what happened. You saw that young white woman that they shot her in her head and kill her. You all saw that. There's a lot of things taking place, and I want you all to understand. ICE is like Trump personal military. It's not about immigration. Y'all understand? If they want to take people, they could just send it, come and just go and get people and take them, but he's trying to create, you know what I mean? He's trying to create tension and, you know, he wants you to do some, so he wants the protesters and them to do some. Okay, but read it again, Isaiah.
Verse 20, thou shalt not be joined with them in burial. Because thou hast destroyed thy land.
You have destroyed your land, read on.
And slain thy people.
And the king of Babylon have slain his people. Doing what? Civil war, read on.
The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned.
That's the seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. No, I want it. No, listen. The name of the topic was Civil War and the Son of Perdition. You know, the seed of evildoer. I wanted to go into that, but I'm not gonna go into that. You know, I'm just keep going on Civil War. Because last week Joshua went into the Son of Perdition. I saw he had a big booklet, and I know a lot of stuff he wasn't able to bring out. So I said, I'm going to touch on it a little this week. But too bad, man. I'm not going to be able to, you know what I mean? We're going to just stay on Civil War. You understand? So, let's go. Where I'm at?
Verse 20 in Isaiah.
Okay, all right. So Isaiah 14. Okay, so from there, I want you to go to Jeremiah 51 and 35 to 37. And then jump to 45. Come on.
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 35. Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 35. The violence done to me, and to my flesh be upon Babylon.
So the violence done unto us, the Israelites, it's on Babylon. The Babylon here is America. Y'all understand? The violence that they're going to do to us, that blood going to be upon them. Y'all understand? Because it's not violence they're going to do to us in the future. Okay, read on.
Shall the inhabitants of Zion say?
Shall the inhabitants of Zion say? Who is Zion? And where is Zion dwelling? Go to Zechariah 2.
Let's go.
To show you all, it's not talking about just the past, what Nebuchadnezzar did to us. It's talking about the future. Read that for me.
Zechariah chapter 2 and verse 6. Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord.
That's America, the land of the north. Read on.
For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven.
Read on.
Saith the Lord. Deliver thyself, O Zion.
Deliver thyself, O Zion. Read on.
That dwellest with the daughter of Babylon.
That dwellest with who?
The daughter of Babylon.
And when you read Psalms 137, the daughter of Babylon is who? Edom. You know what I mean? So we are dwelling with white people. Where? In the land of the north, in America. Who is dwelling here? The Israelites, Zion. So go back and read it again in 35.
Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 35. Let's go. The violence done to me, and to my flesh be upon Babylon.
So the violence that going to be done unto us going to be upon Babylon. You understand? They will do violence to us in this land. Read on.
Shall the inhabitants of Zion say?
The inhabitants of Zion say. Read on.
And my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say.
Read on.
Therefore thus saith the Lord.
Therefore thus says who?
The Lord.
Read on.
Behold, I will plead thy cause.
So God says he gonna plead our cause. As we pray and ask him for vengeance and ask him for mercy, he's gonna plead our cause. Read on.
I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee.
Take what?
Vengeance for thee.
And the Lord is going to take vengeance. He's going to take vengeance on America for what they are doing to our people. So brothers, I know you're all mad. You see what's happening outside. But the Lord said he's going to take vengeance for us. Read on.
And I will dry up her sea.
Read on.
And make her springs dry.
Read on. Ain't going to be no water here. Read on.
And Babylon shall become heaps.
And it's going to become a burnt heap. That's the prophecy. Y'all understand? Jump to verse 45.
Verse 45. My people, go ye out of the midst of her.
So God says, go from in the midst of her. Read on.
And deliver ye every man his soul.
So what are we delivering here?
His soul.
What are we delivering?
His soul.
Our soul. How you deliver your soul? You stop watching porn. You stop committing fornication. You stop committing adultery. You stop worshiping the white image of Christ. Y'all understand? Stop being a Muslim. You stop carrying grudges and hatreds and envy. Y'all understand? That's how you deliver your soul. You serve God. You get right. Read on.
And deliver ye every man his soul.
Read on.
From the fierce anger of the Lord.
Read on.
And lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land.
It says, lest your heart faint, and you fear for the rumor that you're going to hear in where?
The land.
In the land. What is the rumor you're going to hear in the land? Let me get that in, Matthew 24 and 6. Matthew 24 and 6, jump there quick.
Matthew chapter 24 In verse 6.
What is the rumor?
And ye shall hear of wars.
Read on.
And rumors of wars.
So the rumor is going into wars. Now go back and read that again.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 46.
Let's go.
And lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in
What
the
is
land.
the rumor that you're going to be heard in the land? Rumor of what? What type of war? Civil war. You understand? In the land, you're going to be hearing rumors of war. Not just rumor of war going on in Russia, in the Middle East, and so forth, but rumors of America having a civil war. That's why I show a couple of videos, and you all heard them rumors. You all understand? Read that again.
And lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land.
So you're going to hear rumors in this land of what? War. Civil war. Read on.
A rumor shall both come 1 year.
1 year you're going to hear, oh, there might be a civil war in America. Read on.
And after that, in another year.
Another year you might hear, oh, there might be a civil war in America. Read on.
Shall come a rumor. And violence in the land.
And they're going to be what?
Violence in the land.
And there will be violence here in the land of America. You all understand? I'm telling you all don't understand what's coming, but yo, and that violence also goes into, we will be killed here. Also, they ain't gonna just fight each other, but they gonna kill us in this land too. Those of us that teach the gospel. You understand? Read on.
A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor. And violence in the land. Ruler against ruler.
Ruler against ruler.
Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon.
The graven image is Christianity. Read on.
And her whole land shall be confounded.
Now, read on.
And all her slain shall fall in the midst of her.
Okay, so that's civil war. That's going to take place here in Babylon. You know that did not happen in ancient Babylon. Ancient Babylon was not destroyed like that. There was a coup. Y'all understand? That's how ancient Babylon was destroyed. There was a coup. Okay, it wasn't by violence. No. I'm going to skip this. Let me see. I'm going to go into Revelation 16, and I think I'm going to close it there, man. Yeah. I'm going to close it off there. Revelation 16.
Revelation chapter 16 and verse...
No,
19.
You know what? Read 2nd verse 15 and 14 too.
Come on!
Yeah, read that too. Read that first, then go to Revelation 16.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14.
Let's go.
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
Brothers, his sword is destruction drawing near. That's what you all see taking place. Read on.
And one people shall stand up to fight against another.
Read on.
And swords in their hands.
Read on.
For there shall be sedition among men.
What is sedition? Huh? Can you just pull it up on the screen for me? Pull it up on the screen for me. What is sedition? Sedition. Just pull up the word there real quick. Pull it up for me. What is sedition? Sedition. Okay.
Says sedition. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch.
Okay, so what is this going into? Civil war! You all understand? Read it again. No.
2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
So there will be sedition, meaning what? People rising up against their leader. Y'all understand? Rebellion, revolt, insurrection, rioting. That's what you are going to see taking place. Read on.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Read on.
A man shall desire to go into a city.
You're going to want to go into Texas. Read on.
And shall not be able.
And you're not going to be able to go to Texas. You might want to go to California. But you can't go to California. Why? Because there will be seditions. You understand? There will be civil war. And everybody going to have to choose a side. But what side we going to choose? The Lord's side. Right? Now, check this. Read on.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled.
Because of the white man pride, the city, America, will be troubled. Trouble with what? Trouble with civil war because of the white man pride. Read on.
The houses shall be destroyed.
And a lot of people, a lot of houses going to be destroyed. You all don't trust in them houses you all have. And will be taken away from you too. Read on.
And men shall be afraid.
Read on.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. That's going into civil war. Y'all understand? Read on.
But shall destroy their houses with the sword.
But shall destroy their houses through war with the sword. No. Revelation 16. I'll include it off with this one.
Revelations chapter 16 and verse 19.
Let's go.
No, start at verse 1.
Verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels,
read on,
go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth.
So what is being poured out on the earth, brothers? The wrath of God, right? It's the seven archangels have the seven last plagues full with the wrath of God. So we're going to see what is the wrath of God. Some of the wrath of God I'm going to touch on real quick. Now, jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast.
Read on.
And his kingdom.
And his kingdom was what?
Was full of darkness.
Was full of what?
Darkness.
Was full of darkness. His kingdom was full of darkness. Is that darkness just talking about sin? That darkness is going into debt. That darkness is going into sedition. That darkness is going into civil war. Y'all understand? That darkness ain't just talking about the adultery, fornication, and wickedness and wickedness. It's talking about war. It's talking about violence. Keep on reading.
And his kingdom was full of darkness.
Read it again from the top.
And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast.
Where's the seat of the beast? The seat of the beast is where? America is the seat of the beast. I'm not going to read the precept. Revelation 17 explain that. Read on.
And his kingdom.
And his kingdom
was full of darkness.
That darkness is going into division and all of that. Y'all understand? That's what the darkness is going into. The darkness there is also going into the saints being killed here too. Okay, I just want you all to understand that. Read on.
And they gnaw their tongues for pain.
There will be pain here in the seat of the beast. They knob their tongue for pain, meaning they bite their tongue, right? For the pain. Read on.
And blaspheme the God of heaven.
Read on.
Because of their pains.
Because of their pains. Their pains. There's a lot of pain coming here to the seat of the beast. Sedition. Civil unrest. Civil war. Their own citizens they gonna be killing. I'm telling you all. Keep on reading.
Because of their pains and their sores.
And their sores. Read on.
And repented not of their deeds.
And they still not going to repent. You understand? Now jump to verse 16.
Verse 16. And he gathered them together into a place in
No, jump to verse 19.
Verse 19. And the great city.
And the what?
The great city.
Read on.
was divided.
Was what?
Divided.
So what is the great city? Go to Revelation 11 and 8 real quick.
Let's go.
36. Okay. I'm gonna read that for me real quick.
Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Of the what?
The great city.
Of the what?
The great city.
Which is what?
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
So that great city is America, which spiritually is Sodom and Egypt. So go back and read that again in Revelation.
Revelation 16 and verse 19.
Let's go.
And the great city.
And the great city what?
Was divided.
Was what?
Was divided.
It was what?
Divided.
Remember what Christ says. Any kingdom divided amongst itself shall what? Read on.
Into 3 parts.
Into what?
3 parts.
It was divided into how much parts?
3 parts.
Read on.
And the cities of the nations fell.
And the cities of the nations fell. This is going into what, brothers? War. Read on.
And great Babylon came in remembrance before God.
And great Babylon came to remembrance before God. Read on.
To give unto her.
To give unto her.
The cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath.
Of the wrath of the fierceness of his wrath. Read on.
And every island.
So before God poured the fierceness of his wrath upon Babylon, what got to happen first? Huh? Read the verse above.
And the great city was divided.
That's got to happen first. Y'all understand?
Let's go.
There will be civil war here. Civil war got to take place first. Then God is going to destroy this place. Read it again one more time.
And the great city was divided.
Read on.
Into 3 parts.
Read on.
And the cities of the nations fell.
Read on.
And great Babylon came in remembrance before God.
And God remembered great Babylon. You understand? Read on.
To give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath.
Read on.
And every island fled away.
Read on.
And the mountains were not found.
Read on.
And there fell upon men a great hail.
That great hail is talking about what? Nuclear bombs. You understand? Nuclear ballistic missile, because it looked like hails coming down from the heaven. Read on.
Out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent.
Read on.
And men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail. For the plague thereof was exceeding great.
So that's talking about America being destroyed with thermonuclear destruction. You all understand? With that, brothers and sisters, Shalom, Most High Christ bless. Make sure you are prepared for what's coming, man.
Shalom.
Civil war is coming to this place. All right? Shalom, Most High Christ.